Hey y'all, it's Bailey with Reclaim Grace. I'm so happy you clicked on this video. I have 5 projects finished for y'all, and my goal for this week's inspiration makeovers is just anything I have had laying around for a while. I want to get it done so I can get it priced, so I can have lots and lots of new items for my upcoming booth expansion at Coppermill Mercantile in Kinston, North Carolina. I'm closing one of my booths that's in Goldsboro, North Carolina, and just creating one large booth that I can focus my time and energy on. So I'm bringing y'all along for all that. So stay tuned. And also want to give y'all a quick update on the website. I have been off last week and this week from my regular 8 to 4 job. And I have been working really, really, really hard on it. It's frustrating. It's something new that I'm having to figure out. And I'm so thankful for friends that are in my life pointing me in the correct direction, because I honestly have no clue. But I'm working on it, and it is this close, y'all. I'm wanting to publish the website on the upcoming IOD's summer release date. So that's May 22nd. I'm wanting to publish my website the same day as the release. I don't know if that's a good idea or a bad idea, but that's what's in my brain. I'm sorry for all the talking. Let's go ahead and get into the projects. I just wanted to update y'all a little bit. Let's get started. I hope y'all are doing wonderful today. Our first set of projects are these 3 cutting boards I picked up from a church garage sale for $1 each. They had some engravings on them. I just stuck some wood filler in there, and now I'm sanding that smooth. We're going to make this side our back side. So this wood was in really great shape, so I figured it was a great canvas. Once I got that engraving infield, it's going to be like it was never there. I'm going to dust these off because we are going to be painting these. I'm going to use Dixie Belle in cotton. This is a bright white. And when I'm painting these, I'm going to focus my paint mainly on the center area. So I'm going to go heavy with the paint there, and then I'm just going to fan out the paint to the edges and around the neck of the cutting board. And I'm going to do this to both sides of all 3 cutting boards, and I'm going to do 2 coats just like this. Once the paint was dry, I did sand around the edges just to bring that beautiful wood back through, and I am loving the way this looks so far. I grabbed some different floral transfers from a couple different transfer books by IOD. Some of them came from Katharina, and others came from the Lover of Flowers transfer book. And I just figured out placement, and I'm going to apply a floral to each cutting board and some words. So as you can see, I kind of got a little ahead of myself. If that happens with you, just gently place the transfer back down, realign it, and rub some more. And you can't even tell there was a mistake there. Be careful when you're transferring words. They are a little bit more time consuming. Make sure you're getting all your letters down, and then burnish the transfer very well. And these are so cute. I loved this one with the pink roses and the perfect words to match, pink rosebud. If you have never applied a transfer before, it is super easy. It comes with the burnishing tool in each IOD transfer pack. You just rub all over and peel back that top layer as you're rubbing, and the transfer sticks perfectly. I need to seal these up. You need to seal your transfers, and this is chalk paint. So I'm going to use some Fusion clear wax all over front and back, and then I'm going to take my aging wax brush. I'm not going to add any extra wax to it, just the brush itself, and add just a little bit of age to these. Then I'm going to take a blue shop towel and buff off all the wax. Added some chiffon ribbon to the tops as little hangers, and these are done. Y'all, these are adorable to me. They were so simple, and I cannot believe we turned $1 cutting boards into these beauties. I'm going to price them for $12.95 a piece. Y'all tell me what you think about this first project. Our next project is this mirror. It had tons of texture. This blue paint, I like the blue paint, but it just needs a little bit of updating. I paid $5 for this mirror at a vendor market, and I'm going to be adding some of Paint Couture's bronze metallic paint. This is a gorgeous bronze, brass, gold color, whatever you want to call it. This is my favorite gold paint that I have found so far. The coverage is great. I did one coat all over. I'm not really caring if I get any of the paint on the glass. We can clean, or on the mirror. We can clean that up in a later step. Just get into all the nooks and crannies. Here is how it looks after one coat. So I went ahead and gave it one more coat, and then this is the result. There's just a little bit of that blue paint peeking through. You'll see in the final shots. So now let's clean up the mirror and let's get rid of the paint that I got on as I was painting. I'm just using some Windex so I don't damage the mirror, and I'm using a scraping tool just to gently scrape off that paint around the edges. Then I will take a blue shop towel and wipe down the mirror. This mirror already had a hanging hardware on it, so after we clean this glass up, this project is done. This one was hard to take final shots of. I hope y'all see its beauty in this horrible photographing, but I'm about to show you where the hint of blue is peeking through, and I think it makes it look like an aged patina brass mirror. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I think I'm going to price it for around $39.95. Moving on to our next project. This is a solid wood side table, plant stand, whatever you want to call it, but this spindle pedestal, ooh, it is gorgeous. It had me with that spindle pedestal. So the top was cracked. I beat that off with a hammer. We need to re-glue it, and we need to get rid of those nails. I'm going to sand along that cracked area well, and then I'm going to add some Titebond Quick and Thick, just a line down one of the boards, and then spread it around with my finger, and we're going to get these two pieces glued back up with a couple clamps. I'm going to wipe away any glue squeeze out so we do not have to deal with that later. And now I'm going to tap these nails out. It's going to shake my camera, so I saved you from that. And then use a pair of pliers to grab out the nails from the other side. This top piece was loose, so I screwed 2 screws down through that supporting piece into the pedestal. And that was going to shake my camera as well, so I sped through that step. So now everything's glued back together. I just nailed the top back on through the bottom. I sprayed I sprayed a coat of shellac on the whole base, or on the whole plant stand, because I figured this would be a bleeder. I'm coming in with some DIY vintage linen clay-based paint as my paint of choice. I wanted to wet distress this piece, and this paint is famous for the way it wet distress. I went ahead and applied this first coat, and I let that fully dry. It came time to do my second coat. I noticed some bleed through. This is where the wood tannins bleed through the paint. So a quick fix to solve that is just to spray a light layer of shellac over those areas. You don't have to do the whole piece, just the areas where the bleed through is happening. Let that dry and then apply your second coat. So now my second coat has been added, and I'm going to come in with a few baby wipes and do some serious wet distressing on this piece. I want to bring out all that natural wood back through all the details on this plant stand. So I'm going to go with my finger wrapped in a baby wipe and just hit all the high areas, especially around this gorgeous spindle, around the base, around the top, and even on the flat surfaces of the top. We are going to be adding a paint inlay to the top of the plant stand. This is a blue and white design by IOD, and I'm going to go with this one pager right here. I'm just misting the paint side of the inlay, and I'm about to give y'all a sneak peek of an upcoming project for a booth display. This is a wine rack that I'm about to make over in an upcoming video. I'm going to be using Dixie Belt Flat Clear Coat as my medium to apply my paint inlay. This is my absolute favorite method of applying paint inlays. I'm going to apply the Dixie Belt Flat Clear Coat to about half of the project and then put my paint inlay on, working wrinkles out. I cannot talk. Working the wrinkles out as I go by lifting up the second half of the piece. Then I'll apply the bottom half with the Dixie Belle Flat Clear Coat, and then remist my paper if it's looking a little bit too dry, and then slowly work that design into the wet medium. I'm going to re-wet the top again, making sure everything is nice and wet, and then I'm going to dab off, put pressure on that paint inlay to make sure everything has made good contact. I zapped that dry with my heat gun, so it was dry in a matter of seconds. And now I am remisting the top of the paper and then giving it a few seconds before I start peeling it back. And y'all, this is like magic. Just to be safe, I took it outside and I'm going to use a spray sealer to seal up the chalk paint and the paint inlay so I don't risk smearing that blue paint inlay into my white paint. I did a couple coats on the top and a few good coats on the bottom as well. And y'all, this project is done. I paid $2 for this plant stand and I plan on selling it for probably $39.99. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this project. Our next project is this basket riser I picked up from Salvation Army for $1. This is a super simple makeover. I'm just going to paint the pedestal with DIY paint in vintage linen. I did 2 coats on the pedestal, trying my best not to get any of the white paint on the basket. I applied 2 coats, and once fully dry, I'm bringing out the baby wipes again to do some wet distressing. I'm going to hit all those high points and around that spindle to bring back some of that wood look. I absolutely love wet distressing. Are y'all a fan of distressing still? Y'all let me know down in the comments. I think it looks so good under white paint. I sealed that paint with a little bit of clear wax, and I'm going to price this for $16.95. I paid $1 for the riser and $2 for the thrifted greenery. I will include the greenery on this project. Our last set of projects for today's videos are these wooden hangers. I love making these over. I'm starting off with a lighter green paint. I end up changing my mind, but I just wanted to show y'all the thinking process. This is by Paint Couture, I believe in the color Sage. It's a gorgeous green. It's just not the green I had in mind. And as I was working on these projects, I got some happy mail from my friend Emily at J. Bowen and Company. And this green was more of the green I was looking for. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous sage green. So I went ahead and repainted over the previous green with this green. I'm going to paint the outside, the inside, the top, the bottom on both wooden hangers. Here is the difference between the two greens. Like I said, I love both of them. It's just the darker green fits my design a little bit better. So I'm going to go ahead and finish painting the insides of both hangers. And now I wanted to change the actual metal to a gold color. I had some leftover gold paint mixed up. I'll show that in a different video. It's a new gold paint I'm trying out. And I'm going to just dab this paint on to the metal, being careful going around the wooden part, but I end up distressing the edges with the gold paint, as you can see in this clip. So now I have broken out some drop cloth, and I'll go ahead and tell you right now, I wish I had an iron, but I don't own one currently, so I left the wrinkles in, and it came back and bit me in the butt later on. I'm cutting this down to size to fit my two hangers, and now I'm just pulling some of those threads on the edges to make the two sides look a little bit ragged. I did choose a piece of drop cloth that had a seam on the bottom because I just like the way that looked. I'm going to be adding some transfers using that transfer book by IOD. I am going to place my drop cloth, my drop cloth in the clip so I can know, where to lay my design at. And I'm going to leave this part in there for you. I'm just figuring out placement, playing around, cutting different things out, putting it on the drop cloth to see how I like it. Do I like the way it looks? And once I get a game plan figured out, that's when I start applying the transfers. When you apply transfers to fabric, you do have to press down a lot harder than usual, but it will transfer perfectly fine. Once you get it transferred on the fabric, you want to use your hand to burnish instead of that protective backing because it may snatch your transfer off your drop cloth. And here is how our first hanging artwork is looking. I did the same thing to the second one, just different transfers. And I wanted to show y'all this butterfly being transferred down. Even the small antennas transferred to the drop cloth. That's amazing. Now, these, of course, are not being sealed. They're on fabric. They're just a piece of wall decor. And the wrinkles look horrible in them. They look horrible. I'm going to go see if my mom has an iron and maybe place a piece of wax paper on top of it and try to iron those wrinkles out. If I can get the wrinkles out, I plan on selling these for around $14 to $16.95. What do y'all think about these? And that is all I have for y'all today, my friends. I really hope y'all enjoyed today's projects. If you got any inspiration from today's video, hit that like button. Let me know which project is your favorite down in the comments. And subscribe if you have not already. I'll talk to y'all in the comments. Bye.